But make
Oh
a
my
hype up now.
god. Judy,
Wait,
how are
off
you?
mic first.
I'm
Wait,
fine,
make
no, I'm
I
very fine, my dear.
wait, off
Oh
your
my
mic first.
god.
Off
Oh,
your
Oh
this
my
mic.
guy
god.
again.
Make I meet you. Make I meet you. I won't meet you as like the police people will meet you. Jude, how far? How far, my brother? Hmm? Waiting this up. Or I'll meet your mic and speak. Guys, Jude's in the building. You guys should show Jude some love, eh? Yeah, I think this is the first time speaking on space since he came out from Nga. How far, my brother? These people won't come. They won't come dull our shine, oh. My bro.
Wow. Eh, a lot has happened, my brother. A lot has. I'm very fine. They want to. They want so fast, but I thank God that at the end of the day, it's- so I thank everybody who contributed in one way or the other to see to my the petition against whoever. I saw it, and I must tell you, all very effective because I know how the pressure was in there. I know how they were running kitty kata kata is stronger, and we will continue to demand good governance. We will continue to seek justice for each and every one of you. The love was just massive. I I didn't expect that, honestly. I didn't expect it. So I appreciate you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Omo, when you started this journey and you were dropping all those hints about Peter, nobody. I would say you those pages that was a means of verification for so many people. So, my brother, it's good to have you back out. This one will be saying our only pictures in the post for us. If you want to turn Twitter to Instagram, you have to be please get back to tweeting. Let us know that you're truly back on the streets of Twitter because you're one very very strong voice. We need to take your pictures to Instagram. All the fine girls on the you say so actually they put picture up and down. Numero coming.
Hi. Sorry, my DP doesn't give me away as much, but I'll be quick. What Peter Okabong from
Come
Just
on.
North,
Oh,
yes,
just not wow.
I would say Peter Obi has done a lot for me because been brought to question because of how the Buhari emergence resonates with me heavily because of me is Peter Obi's emergence is going to do wonders for our moral fabric and kind, and he's compassionate. I encountered him with my friends and my classmates in 2019 when he was running at the airport, and he was severely humble. He strolled past us like he wasn't who he was, with his suitcase, so humble, so easy to reach. And we bombarded him, 5 girls, and he's like, "Oh my goodness!" And then we took pictures of him and then we asked him questions, and he was so down to earth and he was loving. And it wasn't that was just the first time. And then at some point in that same day, we still met up with him and we still engaged in conversation with him. This man is willing to speak to just anybody as long as you're willing to do the right thing and just listen to him. He's like a fountain that doesn't run dry. I feel this is God's chance giving us, like the last point to sort of redeem ourselves. We can't miss it. We can't miss it for anything in the world. We can't. You have no idea how many times I go on my knees and pray for this man. It is that serious to me. It is very serious. When you hear the numbers that Plateau State turned out during the presidential election, it wasn't banter. It was actually millions. What the APC did was daylight robbery. Daylight robbery. And anyway, we are going to answer them, but that one is, it's in the works. But it's just to tell you how much Plateau people have suffered, and they see themselves in Peter Obi. We see ourselves. He presents hope. He presents that thing that we all want to see, and he's going to get his mandate back. He's going to get it back. I just don't know how it's going to happen, but we are going to help him, and he's getting that mandate back. There's nothing anybody wants to do about it. There's nothing anybody wants to see. We are ready for APC. This is not 2015. It's a new junta and a new team and a new sheriff is in town. So that's it. We're getting our mandate back. Thank you very
much. Please, if you could keep your
Yeah, good evening.
submission as short as possible, please.
Yeah.
I don't hear you clearly. We can hear you loud, Sha. Continue.
to be part of the space, and I'm excited, guys. First of all, the lady who just spoke, I listen. I have a soft extremely decay has kept Nigeria literally in a vegetative state for more than in 2009 when I was in Nigeria. I'm no longer in Nigeria. I left Nigeria many years ago, and I'm happy. But for me, just as in diaspora, listening to this, man, I'm like, oh my god, this guy even how is this guy Nigerian? Like how? Knowing food tells you that, like Peter Obi said, there's a and they're in their minority, believe me. They are in a minority, but unfortunately, we don't have the experience. What Obi has done is awaken can actually have a way to run for office in Nigeria, because what Obi showed is that we can actually run, make impact in election without paying anybody any money. I don't know anybody who said Labour Party paid them any money, but yet look at the impact. The fact that we have 97 million people registered to vote and about 18 million voted. But if you look at, let's even look at the stupid thing INEC did. Let's imagine that 6 million people actually vote for Peter Obi. For me, I'm like, so you can actually get votes in Nigeria being on the good side of things, the side you will not bribe anybody and get voted for. It just tells you there's hope for Nigeria. That to me, as diaspora, I've logged off Nigeria for years, but this guy just brought back the passion. Joe, I know what it means to be Nigerian, how I loved growing up in Nigeria. I went to school in Nigeria. I knew when Nigeria was good. And revolution, I didn't know it was going to be a political revolution. I didn't see that. That shocked me. So I look at the Obidient movement as a conscience, the conscience of Nigeria. Crap down, because you've not even got cross part 2000, you're talking about 2007. Or the Obidient movement is not. It's Labour Party is the first platform. It would transcend. It's a conscience, it's a character of Nigeria, then a new Nigeria we want. So meaning that if someone who's credible comes out in a party and says the right things and has the antecedents to say go and verify, we'll vote for them. To me, there's nothing wrong with that. And that's, I think, when we're talking about making deals and blah blah blah, it's about winning. Obi winning president, and he will get his money. And that's just so you know, guys. Let no one distract you. There's a lot more propaganda will come up. They know that there's a problem. If you look at this, our electorals, over the years, there's been no candidate without a skeleton in their cupboard who can challenge the electoral process. What's happened in the past is article will come out, this person will come out, they will just bring, hey, we know this about you, and then they will go back, because that would just this is the first time someone is saying, take me to the cleaners. This is everything I have. But I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to actually test this, our so-called judiciary, if it actually works. And that's what they're worried about, because it's going to be difficult for judiciary to look at all this evidence and say, you know what, look the other way. If they do that, fine. But now, at least now we know we don't have one. So I'm happy. Obi has influenced me in so many ways. As a man, as a Nigerian, I have a newfound hope, and I'm happy to see that Nigerian youths are actually awake. It's difficult now to just gaslight Nigerians and walk away. It's difficult. In fact, I think there's no turning back on that. So to everyone who voted, unfortunately I couldn't vote. Everyone who voted, who's kept this light on, who's bought into this man that I don't know, most of us don't even know personally. I really, really want to say, you guys, we all are the real heroes for me for this moment. So thank you, and I yield back.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you so much. We all are heroes in this movement. But the job is just getting started, man, till we claim our mandate. Guys, in all these whole distractions and everything, please, guys, our eyes should be focused on the judiciary. That is one aim. I say all this propaganda, all this noise, all these distractions, all this stuff APC, PDP are throwing is because APC know that there is no how on earth that when that case gets is in the court, when we start hearing the case and everything, that there's no way Tinubu can escape. The least we get is 25 years in prison. That is the least we get. So there is no way to escape. He's closer to prison than he is to Aso Rock. So that is why they are doing everything they can to make sure the case does not get to court. They're trying to do everything they can to destabilize this movement, to make us feel, to take our mind away from the court. Please, I think this Obidient movement is one movement that we have checkmated every institution in this country, and we have checked them and we have seen that they have failed badly and woefully. The only institution remaining right now to pass through the test the noise, and we're starting a new week tomorrow. That new fixed on the judiciary. Nothing more, nothing less. We are in court. Okay, Ure, welcome. Good evening. Ure, you can speak now.
How P2B has influenced me. I like the fact that we, changed this. It's Nigeria is PVC. In fact, first off, transferring the PVC and then going to pick up my PVC and eventually voting. So that's it. For me, I think that's a huge influence. That voting culture in Nigeria is a good thing. The fact that we now know that we are supposed to, he gingered us to be able to do that, I think is beautiful. And then also, these people, they're not used to being questioned. They had exalted themselves and they were demigods. It was impossible to question them. There was this shroud of mystery that surrounded them. You couldn't look them in the eye. But now they are demystified. This movement, this obedience movement, has brought them out of their shell. It has placed them in the market square, where even a child can tell them, "Oh, take off your clothes. Let me see what is underneath." And they don't like that. So P2B has also created an enabling environment for young, audacious minds. So we're seeing people like Badibo Rodsvival, who has so much power, fire in him, stepping up because somebody has created. They say government doesn't create jobs. Government creates an enabling environment for people to make and create jobs. That's exactly what he has done here. He has created an enabling environment for young, audacious minds to be able to thrive, become influences in their immediate sphere. So I think that's another very great feat as well that we have seen. He has given us the power to dream. The dream that we've always had, that dream of a free and fair Nigeria. Now we're seeing it like it is so close. It is so close that we can almost touch it. Where somebody who was nobody can just step up the next day and become somebody. An Okada man is in the house, guys. We have never seen this kind of thing in Nigeria before, where somebody is vying for an elective position without money. People would rather say, if you don't have money, if you don't have the strength to be political in the Nigerian political sphere, just wait for an elective position. But people are actually coming out. They give shishi, that mantra, we know they give shishi, coming out for elective positions and being voted in. I think that's beautiful as well. Now we know that it is doable, and it is a very scary moment for this supposedly 30 years structure. So they don't like it. The old guards are very envious of Peter Obi. Somebody has finally grown the balls that they never could grow. They didn't think that it was possible for one person to stand up and obstruct an entire system. They're seeing it now, and it's not good for them. They don't like it. So I want all of us to know here, if there's anything that we're going to take away from this space, first off, thank you to the host and co-host for coming up with this idea. It's very timely, that we're having this. And it would be nice that we have this every once in a week as well to, encourage each other and keep moving. They know, propagandas are a huge decoy. It's very potent. We've seen the Tinubu camp. Tinubu is a man in himself. He has built a structure. You can call it a structure based on illegality, but it's something that has lasted for a very long time. And it has worked for him with this propaganda-built life that he has done. So propagandas have over time been very potent. And because Nigerians also have not paid attention to politics, we didn't care, because we didn't see somebody who was defendable on the ballot. So all of us just excused ourselves from, their shenanigans. But this is different now. Somebody is stepping up. Somebody is stepping up. So the propagandas, I want us to understand, these propagandas have been a tool that have been in existence for a very long time. They're very potent. They are the most potent way to tire out the cleanest person. When someone starts telling you, come to court, go to court, talk to this person, talk to that person, you become tired and you're like, is this really worth fighting for? Let me just leave it. But there's something that they fail to understand. They're fighting against somebody who has, first off, built an audacity over time, and that audacity has given rise to tenacity. Peter Obi has gone to court and stayed there for 3 years to be able to defend and get back his mandate. So they know that they're up against something that they cannot easily push aside. And now with this wave of young Nigerians behind him, this teeming wave, the coming weeks after now, we're going to see hotter propagandas. We will know that it's a lie. Come through tribal sentiments and religious sentiments. But we have to stand strong. We have to be together. It's something that we have to be deliberate and intentional about. On evangelism that none of us should sit out. We should all be involved in it. We should throw ourselves in it. Now they know that Peter Obi is in court and he stands a very great chance. Look at the paper, look at the petition. They know. So what they're trying to do is distract us. Now, if you go on Twitter timeline, so I think at some point, yes, we're individual-minded people. We're individualistic in nature because we all think for ourselves. We're not a mob that follows a bandwagon. We have our thinking caps on, and we're solidly cerebral to be able to think. I understand that, but that can also be negative for this movement. If we all are saying everybody will just do what they want, I think it would be nice for us to sometimes come together as a house, harness our thoughts, and know which way we want to go. Sometimes we should learn to ignore these things. The Mekano boys are a bigger problem that we have than the APC. The APC already know that this is a very huge cult that we're fighting. I call them aligned principalities and con men. So you know what we're up against. We're not dealing with principality. We're not dealing with flesh and blood here. We already know that one. But the Mekano boys, are people who come like rats biting you. It's biting you and it's blowing breeze and you can't tell. So I think I want all of us to brace up for the impact. Propagandas will come. Now we know that, because first of all, how is it even normal in a sane environment for you to be tapping into people's private calls? How is that even a normal thing to do? But they're doing it and nobody's questioning them because Nigeria is no longer an ideal society. So, but let all of us just brace ourselves up, be in the right frame of mind for the next coming days, and focus on the court proceedings. Peter Obi said we're going to court. He has gone to court. That's what we're looking at. Let's not be distracted by all of these things that are throwing. EFCC came out and told us that they are already, they've been following this man up for the past 9 months, and they have not been able to get any debt on him, no trails of embezzlement under his government as Anambra State governor, and they are still checking that if they see anything, they'll let us know. But we know that for 9 months, if they've checked and they haven't seen anything till now, then there's literally nothing to see. So that's why they're resorting to propaganda. So please, guys, let's keep our heads focused. Thank you guys for this space. It's really amazing that we can all come here and talk. Thank you. I yield my mic.
Thank you very much. Okay. Omega, are you there?
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Actually, the last speaker already said what I wanted to say. I just wanted to say like thank you for hosting this space, because trust me, when the whole thing was going on, I was like, when I saw the space starting up, I was like, wow, this is a good one. Like, to keep the movement going. I'm so happy this space is running. Like, big shout out to King, Pels, Saddam. Like, you guys are doing a great job, man. The last speaker already said exactly what I wanted to say. So thank you and keep the work going. Thanks.
Thank you very much, my brother. Well done. All right.
Yeah.
Godspeed for Nigeria alone.
Oh, thank you very much, Saddam. Host, I greet you. Miss Pels, I greet you. I greet everybody on this space, especially Dr. Geoffrey Gotterman. Sir, thank you for all you're doing for us. It is my prayer that history will be kind to you. Ash, thank you, Daddy, how PO has influenced my life. Fellow Nigerians and non-Nigerians here present. For starters, PO is a transformer. For the first time in my life, before now, I've always known Nigeria we were kind of divided, but I have never seen us divided like we were before the arrival of PO. And for the first time, I saw Nigerians and still see Nigerians speaking in one voice from north to the south. I saw the Muslim clerics in the north came out boldly to say, for this and this and that reason, we are going to support the Labour Party candidates, His Excellency Peter Obi and Yusuf Dati Baba Ahmed. For the first time, I see Nigerians from within and outside Nigeria putting their resources together to run through a man. As a matter of fact, we picked him to be the poster boy because we know that we all can't be there because of his impeccable character. Before now, fellow Nigerians and non-Nigerians, I have always been ashamed of the people we call leaders in Nigeria. Because when you go outside the shores of Nigeria, first what they see you as is either as a fraudster or a drug dealer. You know? But at a time, one day I was listening, I was just watching Arise News. And an elderly man was talking about, we want Peter Obi to come in, to throw his hat into the ring. If he does not join this race, it means it's not complete. I was like, God, who is this person? I went on doing little research. And I was like, wow, do we really have this kind of human being as a Nigerian, a man who has been a governor for 8 good years? No record of stealing, as in, I was like, God. And for the first time in my life, as terrible as they made it feel that in Lagos is APC is this, if you do anything otherwise, you're a goner. I saw myself sharing flyers, giving things about Labour Party on the streets of Lagos. Like, seriously, I detest and hated politics with passion. But with the arrival of this man, whom I call my Saint Obi, I just registered for a political party for the first time in my entire life because of this man. As I speak with you, I'm not just speaking to you as an obedient, but I'm speaking to you also as an LP registered card carrying member, all because of this man. For the first time in my 30s, I see I put in my hard-earned money into the same politics I detest with passion. I now talk to people to the extent I'm like, don't worry, this person that is coming is a different breed. Like, seriously, I don't even know, as in, I never knew a person like this exists. Just vote for him. And when he comes in, things will be better. And really, by God's grace, a lot of us voted for this man. And then one man who calls himself a professor thinks he can divert our mandate. Ladies and gentlemen, if I want to talk about P.O., we will not leave here today. He has really transformed my life, especially when it comes to political thinking and ideas. I can't thank God enough for giving us this man. Look at all of them that went to Chatham House. If not for this man who went to Chatham House, by now, I don't know what would have been happening to us. Because the APC candidate went there and he was acting like someone, like a little child who was beaten by the rain, who's afraid of being carried away by a stranger. The one that calls himself Professor Yakub Mahmoud went there to lie to the world. The one that calls himself Kwankwaso, that says he's more qualified than the whole world, he went there and he was reading as if he's learning how to read. And then the so-called Alhaji Abubakar could not go there. And this man went there to give dignity, respect to our green passport again. So, like, seriously, I am just so grateful to God for keeping me alive, to see that there is a man like P.O. in Nigeria who can give, we can be bold to say again that I am a Nigerian. Thank you guys for this opportunity. God bless you, P.O. God bless you, P.O. Because, like, seriously, he never wanted to come out on his own. Just recently, I saw a tweet about a guy who told him he was commending Super Eagles or something after a football. The guy was telling him, he said, leave football for odd Jews or Kalu. Go and run for president. If you don't run, I will sue you. People begged him, like, people dragged this man to come out. God bless all of you that did that. If not by now, we would have been having those same old people who are coming to show their skills on how they can fry akara. Colonizing people. Hey, this one, they fry akara for road though. Hey, if he enter, it go better. But this man came with ideas. He came to say, let's talk about the issues. And by God's grace, we see brilliancy. We see ideas to the extent the so-called big wings or whatever politicians, they are hiding because they have nothing upstairs to offer. They just know how to steal, deceive the people. God bless you, P.O. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you for hearing. God bless you, sir. God bless you. And thank you all for organizing this space because, like, seriously, we need this so much at this time. Thank you so much. I yield. Love you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my sister. Thank you. All right, let's keep the conversation rolling. I think a guy will surface right now. Dibia. Dibia
Sure.
Ortiz, please try to keep your submission as short as possible. We have a whole lot of people that want to speak.
Yeah.
Please, when you see me wave my hands, know that you have 30 seconds to wrap up your submission. Thank you. You have the space. Go on, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. I've been waiting patiently to speak on this space. Yeah. This space, as I was laughing when I saw this space on my timeline now, because I was like, is it that the space is coming too late or is it too early? Because when I saw what was happening on the timeline and about the whole nonsense audio that was circulating. I just said, like, this is just normal. Just like what P2B said, that you don't expect to easily grab power from these monsters and this structure of criminality that has been eating our commonwealth for years. More of it is still gonna come. You just have to grow thick skin for it. So about the space, thank you that they have PO has influenced my life. Basically, I've not met him personally. I've not had personal encounters with him, but for the fact that he is running and everything I've read and understood about the personality P2B, he has taught me the importance of having a clean record and all through your life. Because when someone, a Nigerian politician, coming to say people to verify his record, go and verify, he put himself on that standard that yes, I'm out, come and verify me. And these people have been searching and searching, and they have not seen anything to pin on the man. So they have come, like, look at people like their DJ Ade and you have been bringing these lies of him being a religious bigot all through before and during and after the election. They have been trying to pin one negative thing. Let it be that that he has his own baggage. They have been trying and forcing, and they can't. They don't even know how to do it. Anything that move. Look at these people. These people are the same people that their Messiah is a drug lord, but they don't even care about it. They have accepted their own evils, and they want to find a way to rob you, just like pigs trying to rob you in the mud that they have. You yourself, you have to be stained as they are. So it just shows me what I've learned is if you have a clean record, you have absolutely nothing to fear. You have integrity, and it speaks for you going forward. Now, as going forward, I just wanted to just say general briefly talk about there is still hope. There is still hope for Nigeria. For someone like PO running for president shows you that there is still hope. Years ago in the past elections, we have people coming to fry akara, braid hair, and do all sorts of nonsense things. I will give you light, I will give you road. None of them said it. There was no nonsense promises done in this election because they know that the real game is like the obedience movement, the measures of PO have shaken the whole system, have destroyed the whole status quo that these people are used to. Now, there's no talking about social media, 3 people tweeting in the room. We are not on the table, and now we are discussing with them. We are not on the table. Nobody is talking about social media, 3 people tweeting in a room. They don't have structure. Nobody is saying it. We are not on the table, and we sit on that table and push them out. And Nigeria must work for everybody. Look at FFK is now an internet troll, comes and talks so many fake things of hatred and bigotry. The dishonest minister of state for employment and labor doesn't do his job. He comes every day and tweet and throws like a fake Twitter page. Those are the kind of characters that are surrounded by that people. Those are the people that want to lead us. And they
Can you
call
wrap up in 10 seconds, please?
and they call their mantra renewed hope. There is no hope for them. I just believe that we should focus on the court case, keep hampering and telling the world that P2B won this election, and we should put more pressure that the judiciary should do the right thing. At the end of the day, we are still going to be victorious. Hit my mic.
Nina, are you there?
Hello, good evening, everybody. Saddam, Pearl, Kay, thank you so much for this. We can go on and talk about how PO has impacted us and impacted us. And if I start, I'm not going to stop. First, I grew up in Enugu. I have cousins from Anambra. My sister used to work with Microsoft, my elder sister, when Peter Obi was governor. So his impact is tremendous. And I'm glad about that. But I just want to quickly say something. A few people have come on to talk about how we shouldn't dignify and acknowledge the propagandas. We need to be very cautious about that. Imagine we did not acknowledge today's propaganda. Imagine we didn't make lemonade out of the lemon. What would happen tomorrow? Tomorrow is Monday. They're going to go wild with it. There are things you can overlook, and there are other things you shouldn't overlook. What we did today has actually highlighted a lot of evil going on with APC as a party, with the government and government agencies. And it's important we do not lose the momentum. The momentum, and we keep our eyes on the ball. Somebody who spoke earlier talked about how a husband and wife would be fighting, and the man takes his key, drives out, cools off, and comes back. It depends on what you're arguing about. If your wife has a minor niece who is visiting, an 11-year-old, and she tells you that you sexually molested her niece at night while she was sleeping, you're not going to pick up your car key and go cool off and come back. It's a very grievous accusation. If Peter Obi is being accused of trying to start a religious war, it's not something you glaze over. It's very important. We know where to draw the line, we know what to speak on. Because if we keep talking about, oh, don't dignify propagandas, well, we shouldn't dignify everything, but we should find out the magnitude of some accusations and nip them in the bud. That's very important. That's what I wanted to talk about. Again, thank you, everybody. We're doing great, and I hope we don't drop the ball. I'd like to yield.
Thank you very much, Nina. Thank you. We would not drop the ball. All right, Yakub. Yakub deals.
All right, thank you so much. I have to start by commending you, MS Adam. God bless you, Pearls, Kiibati, and everyone else who have been holding the flag up. Thank you so much. May history be kind to you. May God bless you. Peter Obi has done a lot. I want to bet that there is stuff that 5-10 years from now, we'll gather somewhere, wherever we gather and talk, and find out things which Peter Obi is doing today, which we won't catch today. I'll just quickly go through the things I wrote that Peter Obi has done for me, but by extension, Nigerians and even Africans. It was Billy Graham who said that when a brave man steps forward, the spines of others around are straightened. Obi is arguably Nigeria's most courageous man and politician. And it's obvious that every Obidient is a progressive person. And so, understandably or expectedly, we are all committed to self-improvement. And if you're committed to self-improvement, you will understand the amount of work that Peter Obi has done on himself to be the kind of person he is, to attain certain level of focus, courage, and consistency. Obi's character is the model of the operating system of the new Nigeria that we all desire. There's a spark that lights up the good that every Nigerian knows is in every Nigerian, or is in most Nigerians, excuse me. He has galvanized the conscience of every truly progressive Nigerian. In fact, every truly progressive African. He has taught us to fight, to be bold, to stand strong in the face of the storm of corruption. He has taught us that excellence is not in the skin of a person, but in the person, and has nothing to do with race or tribe. He has shown us that a country, indeed a continent, may be rebuilt on the back of one bold, good man and his followers. He has opened the box of magic, that mysterious box that these dark horsemen have hypnotized us with for decades. He has invited us to peer inside the box and see that the power we hold is greater than the power in the box. Obi has shown us that Nigeria is truly great, and that if we dare to be disciplined, courageous, honest, content, selfless, and intentional, we can write our name in history. Every time that a good man rises up, evil rises up too. And the extent to which evil rises is the extent to which they perceive the goodness in the good man. The evil and bile and the concentration of the diabolical soup that the PDAPC has cooked shows the height of the threat that they perceive in Obi. May God bless Obi, and may we not give up. May we win. May we stay focused. Obi is giving everything he has. Let us give all too. Thank you very much. I yield the mic.
Thank you very much, my brother Yakub. Thank you very much. All right, let's go real quick. I think let's take a lady. Adaigwe, are you there? Please have the space, please.
Hi, Saddam. Good evening, everyone. Hi, Kiibati and Pels. Okay, so for me, I would like to say that one big thing Obi did that influenced not just me, but the part of Anambra State I come from, is that he's the reason we have an airport in my village today. And that's one thing I really want to thank God for, because he could have built an airport elsewhere, but he chose to build he could have attracted funds for airport to be built in any other place, but he made it possible for it to be in my village. So, and I want to say that was a very good one. There are lots of things he did when he was the governor. He didn't just go to attract things, better things in his own area or maybe in his local government area. He made sure that everything he did in different parts of Anambra State is what the people in that areas needed. Then, secondly, for me, I would like to say that, okay, I've met him on 2 occasions, once in a wedding and the second time was in the plane. When you get close to him, you find out that he's one elite that has no trace of elitism in him. He's calm, he's calculated, he's focused. He wants to relate with everyone. And another thing I really love about him is his family values. When you look at his family values, you see that the love and cohesion we have today as Obidient kind of stems from what is coming from his own family values too. Somehow he has turned all of us to be politicians. Sometime in October last year, I was in the hospital, and that period, we are having lots of violent spaces. And I was always listening to violent space. So, and at one time I heard the nurses discussing about me, and they said that politician, that's how far he has made all of us to have interest in politics. One other thing that I really love about Obi is the fact that his work rate is very challenging. During that period I was in the hospital, I had a surgery, and I was told that I'm going to be able to do stuff after 60 to 90 days. But when I saw Obi's work rate, it challenged me as an individual. I had to say, no, I can't sit down and wait till 60 or 90 days to start being useful. By the 42nd day, I was already on the streets with fellow Obedients doing stuff for the movement. So Obi is one leader that sometimes when you're looking at him, it appears like 1 minute you're seeing Lee Kuan Yew, the next minute you're seeing Martin Luther. So as a young person, if you're looking forward to someone that will be like your like someone you can look up to, your mentor in leadership, I think Obi is the one you should consider, because for me, I'll continue to be his student. Thank you, everyone, and good night.
Thank you very much, my sister. All right. Let's take Omo Olaidin. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Saddam. Good evening, everyone. My take is that Peter Obi is actually an embodiment of politics in Nigeria. He's an enlightening body of politics in Nigeria. This is actually a man that has come to 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 politically awaken every single sensible Nigerian. This is the man that has come to let us see the reason between the light and the darkness. This is the man that has come to make every single Nigerian a politically aware. This is the same man that has, do you guys actually know what it is for a 20-year-old boy or girl to be glued to their TV, to Nigerian news, to know what is going on in Nigeria? It's all because of Peter Obi. This is the man that has actually made the entire Nigeria to be a politician. Everybody wants to contribute. Everybody wants to know what is going on in the politics of Nigeria. Everybody wants to. We all actually believe it is the opposition actually believe that the entire Obidient actually end on Twitter, until you go out there and see how people actually interested in working for Peter Obi. This is not because of the fact that people on social media are shouting Peter Obi, or people on social media are shouting Obidient. No, it is because of the fact that his influence has actually gotten to even the grassroots, not just on the media. His communication has reached down to the grassroots. So the influence of Peter Obi is not just limited to the social media. It has actually gone viral to the entire country. There will actually be a time where the APC will actually set up a propaganda on Twitter or probably on social media, and you will see the entire Nigerians in action. That is when they will actually know that the entire Nigeria, or 90% of Nigerians, are actually behind Peter Obi. It is actually unfortunate the election was not fair and fair. If the election was free and fair, that is actually when they will know that almost the entire Nigerians are behind Peter Obi. This is not even about politics. This is about the kind of person he is, the kind of influence that he has set out to. Peter Obi, as a person, personally, I am actually very, very interested in politics. But seeing Peter Obi, hearing the things he's saying and the things that he has done and everything, I even actually want to do more. I want to even work under him. I want to be more politically explored. It's all because of Peter Obi. So this is the man that has given us more hope. This is the man that has given us more visions about our country. Even for the fact that we all lost our hope and vision for this country. But this particular man just come and then put the whole vision in our head, and then that's it. So before you know it, we all believe there is a country. The reason why we are still seeing Nigeria as the same country is because of Peter Obi. So I just pray that the judiciary gets it right, because trust me, if we have a good and working judiciary, I personally would even love to sue INEC, because it's crazy. I left my home exactly 5 a.m. I risked my life exactly 5 a.m. to call me. I even had to travel from 5 a.m. down to my polling unit. And then all of a sudden, the result was nothing to write home about. That's literally, so if the judiciary is working in Nigeria, I personally would love to sue INEC. So I just hope we get it right. I just hope the judiciary gets it right. And to be honest with you, Peter Obi cannot even give up. Because if we are not going to give up, Peter Obi definitely cannot give up, because he is actually our pillar and we are solidly behind him. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I use my mic.
Wow, Amola, that really touched me. That was such a brilliant submission. And oh my God, I am so happy we're doing this space. I mean, so many things that have been said tonight that have been playing in my head for a long time. And thanks to this Agbado friends, our qualified friends, we could finally have this conversation. I mean, what started as a dig at us, what started as propaganda, as evolved into this very beautiful conversation that was that was a long time coming and way overdue. Um, thank you guys. All right, let's continue. I think we'll continue the space for one more hour and end it at 1 a.m. Nigerian time. All right, we'll end it at 1 a.m. Nigerian time so I can go get some sleep if you guys don't mind. So, but we'll try to take as many speakers as possible because I really want to hear all your stories. Uh, let's move on to the next speaker. Okay, let's have a lady. Oh my God, who has not gone? Okay, Deborah. Let's have a lady next. I'm going by what we've been doing. Deborah, good evening. Can you hear me?
Okay,
You
good
have the
evening.
floor. Go
Can you
ahead,
hear
please.
me?
Yes, you have the floor. 2 minutes, please. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Good evening, everyone. And thank you so much for putting up this space where we can express our thought concerning our leader, Peter Obi. Firstly, I would want to talk about, most importantly, is that I've learned with him to keep a clean slate because it amazes me and I'm in awe of him whenever I look at his picture. And I see a man who have categorically stated that there is no corruption allegation against me. And no one in the whole of Nigeria is able to come up with one. I think that is highly commendable. There are times I look at him and I'm thinking, who raised you? How did you come about the principles that guide you? How did you come about integrity, honesty, transparency? And you're so committed to what you do. I mean, those are rare virtues in Nigeria, especially within the political space. And I think most importantly, what he has done for me is that he has not just inspired me, but he has become a prototype when it comes to what the ideal Nigerian should look like. So I was supposed to work on a project, but I couldn't wrap my head around it. But looking at the man Peter Obi, I'm beginning to realize that we don't need just one Peter Obi in Nigeria. We need 220 million Peter Obis in Nigeria. And like I said, most importantly, it became a drive for me, especially if you're from the north where I'm from. Okay, so I'm from Gombe State. I stayed partially in Jos Plateau State, presently in Jigawa. You will realize that religion, illiteracy, and poverty have been weaponized against the northern youth, especially. Yes, the northern youth. I think I'll be right to say the northern youth, especially. So I'm beginning to think. So how do we replicate a Peter Obi in the north, not just in the north, Nigeria, and I think Africa at large? Because sincerely speaking, in as much as the presidency is important, but the ministers too, the senators, the heads of parastatals are also very key to a new Nigeria. So it brings about that dream to, okay, how do we bring leadership to the grassroots, not just leadership at Harvard level or people who can afford to pay for an MBA, but bring leadership to secondary school classes, to primary school, so that in the next 10, 20 years, we're not struggling to pull out a one Peter Obi in the whole of Nigeria, but we're thinking about raising 220 million Peter Obis in Nigeria. And I think that is the most important thing and influence he have had in my life. So I'm beginning to notice that it's just the beginning of the journey, actually, not necessarily the end. His declaration is the beginning of the journey because from there we start to think of, okay, how do we teach people honesty? How do we teach them transparency? Because I mean, the strength of his character and the quality of his thinking, in my opinion, is second to none amongst the people you see in the forefront of politics in Nigeria. So basically, that's how he has inspired me to be a better person and to build Nigeria and Africa at large. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deborah, and thanks for keeping it brief. God bless you. All right, let's quickly go to the next speaker. Please, guys, let's keep it moving. All right, sharp, 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 so we can take as many people as possible before the space ends. Sajay, I'll come to you next. Good evening, Sajay. Good evening. Are you with us? Okay, if Sajay is not ready, let's go to Emmanuel.
All right, hi
Good
everyone.
evening.
Good evening. Yeah, thanks Kibati. Thanks for hosting Saddam. Um, how PO has influenced my life. Hmm. The truth is, I think I would want to go through the very basics of things. First of all, the fact that we're having a space asking this particular question of how PO has influenced our lives already tells you the testing. It gives you a testimony to what he has done within the political space, right? In my life, I don't think I've ever seen a politician that has made me stay on Twitter for 12 hours on a space. And it's not like, okay, I did it once and then I stopped, but I did it for nearly 8 months. Different spaces of different obedient spaces that you could go 8 hours, 9 hours, and you don't feel tired about it. You instead you feel energized from it, right? If if I ask some of you now, for example, for those of us that are in Nigeria, check the amount you spent on data in the last 9 months. Most, for example, if you're someone like me who maybe works tech and also, so that means you have to always be online and then you're doing spaces. The minimum I think I've been spending almost every month has been around 15 to 20K just on data. And it has never felt like a burden because the person who I am doing it for, the person who I'm looking at, has shown me that he is worth it. I don't think there's any of us that would be awake by past 12 if it was Bala Blue that we're doing here. Like, I don't think there's any. I'm not even sure the Abados can have a space of. He has brought out a template. Peter Obi represents the possibilities for every youth, for every aspiration that you have as a youth. You can look at Peter Obi and you can see a target line and a path line for yourself. I was discussing with a friend yesterday night where I slept over, and we agreed on something. He said that when he looked at Peter Obi's profile, he said Peter Obi's profile is already a picture and a pattern for him. Almost everything that Peter Obi has done is the pattern he wants to even follow to get to where he's going to. This man has created a pattern for people to follow. He has created a system that you can look at and adopt to your life. It's it's beyond just it goes beyond just the mere words. It goes into the life, the lifestyle of this person. How has Pure affected our lives? Come on, he has changed it for the better. The truth is, from now till thy kingdom come, and as long as Nigeria remains, the politics in Nigeria will never be the same again. And definitely, let me just put this to encourage someone. Tinubu will never be sworn in as the president of this country. Nigeria is moving forward, Nigeria is growing, and there is nothing, no matter who they are, that will stop it from happening. Take this to the bank, sleep with it, rest with it, write it somewhere, paste it on your wall. Tinubu will never be the president of Nigeria. Thank you all so much. I mean, there's a lot to say about Peter Obi, but if we start, we won't end. Thank you all and have a lovely night.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, quickly, let's move on quickly to I am Kibaba. I am underscore Kibaba. Good evening. Are you there? Thoracic nurse, are you there?
Yeah. Hello.
Okay, good evening. Can you speak up, please? I can't hear you.
Oh, yeah, can you hear me now?
No, I don't know if it's your phone or the network. You're not really audible. Are you using a device?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Okay, we'll try. Please keep it
Is
very
it
brief.
okay now?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Can you hear me clearly? All right.
Yes, yeah, please
Good
keep
evening,
it
everyone.
brief, please. Let's
Good
go.
morning. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Definitely. Yeah. I'm happy for this, forum going on this evening. Based on what have been happening since yesterday about audio and everything, and like to be frank with you, P2B have really changed a lot of young people's life in Nigeria, and he has really been an inspiration to a lot of people. Some of us that gave up on Nigeria as young people, like the hope is renewed, and I'm really very happy the way everybody's pushing for what is good. I just wish that what happened in Kenya, will happen in Nigeria, and I'm very, very sure of that. P2B have personally, made us, personally me, like get involved with politics, talk about politics, be interested in people and, their lifestyle. You can imagine a man that, what P2B said that in UK, that he have almost 100% credit score. A lot of people don't understand what that thing is. People don't know what that thing really means. It's very, very, very rare. And he's saying it for people to go and verify. That has shown you that a man have lived a very clean life, even if it's not 100%. But this man have really, showed up that he got something up, said very smart man. So the truth remains that there's a lot of things we can say. They keep saying that if our bodies are free, it's not enough to, like, there's a lot of things this man have done for us. But I just want to encourage every one of us, obedient, and everybody that's a like of good thing, to keep pushing, to keep writing, keep tweeting, keep writing every good thing you can write about Nigeria and good governance. And because I'm just hopeful and believe that distant time there'll be a very good change coming from Peter Obi and his group. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, let's go to a lady now. Please, if you're on the stage and you've not spoken and you'd like to speak, please raise up your hand so I can come to you. If your hand is not up, I'll assume you've spoken and I will have to drop you. All right, so please raise up your hand if you'd like to speak. Let's go to a lady, like I said. Ma 6311, are you a lady? Good evening. Are you there? Ma 6311, are you there? Okay, if you're not ready, Nina, good evening. Nina Cool 22. I don't know if you've spoken. Your hand is not up. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. Yes, I already
Oh,
spoke.
okay, okay. All right, all right.
Yeah,
Sorry,
thank
sorry. I
you.
wasn't paying attention. Apologies for that. Let's go to the
Not
next
a
speaker.
problem.
Nedu, good evening. Nedu, are you there?
Hi, good evening. Can you
Yes,
hear
good
me?
evening. Yes, over to you, please.
Awesome,
Go ahead.
awesome. Good evening, everyone. Good morning, wherever y'all are spacing in from. Thanks, Kiibati, Pel, and Amira for this space. I just logged into Twitter and I saw it and I just dialed it, and I think it just came at the right time. Just going by all that has happened in the last few hours, right? It's funny. It just feels like the more propaganda and falsehood that will be passed on in these coming days is actually gonna make the cement, right, of PU and obedience, become stronger and harder. So no matter how the games are gonna be played, I think it may actually just be in our favor. In terms of what PO has done, for me personally, I'll take it beyond personal. Let me just say to we younger Nigerians, we self aspirational Nigerians, because I think those are the people that PU appeals to. It's not just about being young and being smart, being educated, having an MBA and all those degrees. Because as we've seen, right, a lot of folks that have all those degrees are not really self aspirational and well meaning Nigerians, So it's the self aspirational and the well meaning Nigerians that PU appeals to. And what he has done prior to this election, I've always believed that every country deserves their leaders. And I was honestly okay that, if this election, like most Nigerians believed that it was going to be free and fair to a large extent, that however the outcome is, Nigerians made their decision, right? But it was obvious that majority of Nigerians actually love and want progress. So for me, that's one of the biggest things that PU has done for me personally and for young Nigerians. Because before this election, I wasn't quite sure where we as a country were, right? But he thing. All Nigerians with all their different skills and unique resources, look at what happened today, right? This last few hours. An audio tape was put out there, and Nigerians spend their time and resources. They don't work for Labour Party. They don't know Peter Obi from anywhere. To analyze and dig deep. Tape. So for me, that's what Peter has done. He has really spirit, and we will be successful because the potential from that day going forward. So I'll yield the mic, but I'll say everyone keep on pushing hard, put in your time. This little time you come on Twitter, you make tweets, you make stuff trends. It does have an effect. People are noticing all across the world. They are feeling that pressure. And I'll suggest, I don't know what the timeline is before we get like the next court date or the response from the APC and whatever. If we can get a sort of countdown, right, that is verified, that we can start trending that countdown, so that they start feeling that heat. That on top of all this propaganda, we are waiting for you in court. Come and prove who you are and how you won this election. Because it's obvious, that, the APC, they literally just grabbed, it just pure daylight robbery, So thank you once again. I'll yield the mic for now.
Thank you, Nedu. Yes, and that's a brilliant suggestion because all our eyes are now on the courts. Yes, we need to start a court countdown once we have the dates. I don't think we have the dates have been announced yet for the court proceedings. I promise you that we're on top of the matter. Once the dates are announced, Obedients are going to be all over it. All right, let's move on to the next speaker real quickly. Let's go to a lady now. Let's see. Who are the ladies here? Jinika. I assume you are a lady. Jinika Chukwu. Good evening.
Yeah, good
You're
evening.
welcome.
Oh, good morning. So, yeah, good morning, fellow Obidient. So, how P2B has influenced my life. Anyway, I wouldn't say, I don't actually want to use the narrative because I'm Igbo. I think if P2B was with this lifestyle and he comes from the Yoruba tribe, he comes from the northern part, he comes from a minority group, I will still want to align with him over and over again because the facts are there. It's not something you start guessing. It's not a lifestyle that's not transparent. It's not a lifestyle that can't mirror what it reflects. Like it reflects everything good. So you don't really need a push. I don't think all this energy, the obedience are putting into what we are doing. I don't think if he brings the whole money in the world as they do in the Agbado camp, I don't think he can get anything from us. But because of because of the transparency, because of everything, we put in our energy to see a Nigeria that works. So P2B have influenced my life in the sense that no matter how bad or how corrupt the system is, like he has come out to disprove to bring the fact that there are still good people, there are still sane people, there are still people who actually want this country to work. And I believe with what we are doing right now, we will get it right. Nigeria will be great again. We will get a functioning system. The movement is already there, and like somebody just said right now, the political system is already heated up that it can't die anytime soon. The awareness can't die anytime soon. So that's what the P2B effect did, It made everybody politically aware. So I'm so glad at a time like this, P2B came into existence. Thank you. Let me yield my mic.
Thank you so much, Janika. Thank you very much. All right, let's go to the Jack underscore NGO2.
Yeah, can you hear
Yes,
me?
we can. Good evening. You have the floor.
Good evening, everyone. I want to say a very big thank you to everybody who has put this together because when all of this started this morning, it was very troubling to say the least. But time and time again, the Obidient family have shown how astute and in depth they are in all that they do. So I'm really appreciative for this space as well. Um, how P2B has influenced my life personally. I spent the last 6 weeks in Nigeria and I'm back to the UK right now. I specifically went back to Nigeria because of this presidential election and stayed back for the next election as well. And I just came back a few days ago. And I want to say he awoken my political consciousness and made me take action. I I I I mean, I saw everything play out throughout the both elections live, and everything that P2B stands for um, has been multiplied in everybody across board in Nigeria. Some of them don't know it at the moment. Some of them may, in the next few days, weeks, before May 29 realize they are not the same persons anymore. I've been on this space for about hours now, and I remember the PDP guy that came up and said he was now politically born again and all of that. A lot of people will be in that shoe. And I really want to, say a very big thank you, thank you, thank you to our daddy. Right now as I speak to you, I'm drawing up a bill that will be presented to the House, the National Assembly, in the next Parliament, and it is to question why the Nigerian Electoral Act does not say if an election is disrupted by violence, why would that election not be redone? It's an aberration. It's a gap that has been left there by these political players at this moment to create a loophole for them to have a leeway, disrupt elections. And I mean, you see what happened in the 18th of March elections in Lagos specifically. And I begin to wonder, why are we like this? So the tsunami that is coming with what P2B has ignited, I mean, we are yet to actually see the whole of it. We will answer these questions in the next assembly. We will write them, we will present them, and they will, capital letter, they will pass these new laws. And that is part of what P2B represents. And I want to say a very big thank you, a very big thank you again and again. I can't say thank you enough. Thank you enough. Yeah, I can't say thank you enough. I also feel, on the one hand, that the tribunal, I've heard from many legal minds that say that the tribunal, assumes in cases of petitions like this that INEC has done the right thing, before they start hearing and start putting the burden of proof on the petitioner, even though the petitioner is going to take, you know, the things he needs to prove its case from the defendant. These things need to change. Peter Obi has ignited this fire and it will not die. It shall not die. The Electoral Offences Commission, these are questions that will go to the next house, the next National Assembly. The Electoral Offences Commission, Femi Gbajabiamila sat on it until after this election is now coming to blab on air. These are questions that we pose to these people, and it is it's part of the fire P2B has ignited. I thank you, and I yield my mic.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jack. I don't know if that's your name. That was lovely. Okay, let me go to the next speaker. Drug Lord, not my president, and Sir Jay. I called on you guys earlier. Can any of you hear me? Sajay, drug lord, not my president. Can any of you hear me? Okay, I may have to drop you guys since you're not speaking. But in the meantime, let me go to Outlier. Outlier, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good
All right,
evening.
go ahead. You have the floor.
Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone on this call. I've been on the space from the start. Um, I had to handle my mom in the hospital on one hand and being on this call on the other hand. And it's one of the things I like to be thankful for is how much we've been able to hold on from the start of all of this struggle till now. This is not just an election. This is not about just one mandate. This is the fight for the soul of Nigeria. And the dark forces for becoming the face is to thank Peter Obi for what I've put out there, the intelligent conversations and suggestions that have come up. This is brilliant. It's something that the other guys don't have. And this is what irritates about the Obedience because they cannot beat us with the foolishness that they bring to the social space. They can't beat us with it. Throughout yesterday, I said I was on lot of the things that we had to use to counter the rubbish they brought to this space. How has Peter Obi influenced me? I've learned the patience. No, I have not seen any politician. I don't want to talk about the integrity. We've talked so much about Peter Obi's integrity, and nobody can fault him at that. The patience with which the man does his things. I have never seen that level of patience from any Nigerian politician before. Look at the man that they stole his mandate. He's been quiet, he's been calm, not fighting anybody. The people who stole the mandate are running from pillar to post. And then he woke up one morning while they were expecting him to go to court to ask them prayer number one, Beavers, prayers number two, IREF. And he hit them where they did not even expect. He startled them. He confused them. They are confused like till now. Where in the world do people conduct elections? How many elections have not ended till today? Till now that I'm talking to you, they are still uploading election the results on IREF. Election 25th of February. But in April we are into it. They are still uploading results. The man has been patient. If I have not learned anything from that guy, the patience with which he follows these guys up, he has studied the system, he understands how they think, and he's patiently following them, careful enough not to fall into their traps. So this is something that every Nigerian youth should emulate. Trust me, Peter Obi is not just an icon, he's an institution. Peter Obi needs to be studied. His integrity level, his passion for the things, for the people that he believes in this country, his patience, the level with which he organizes himself, his thoughts and his actions and puts his team together needs to be studied as a course on its own. Like somebody asked, who raised this guy? Who raised Peter Obi? The only way we can say thank you is to stick with him through this entire process, retrieve the mandates, stay back and hold him accountable on all the promises that he made, and help build the kind of country we would like to hand over to our children. This is the only country we can call our own. Anybody can go and adopt a country. They will still call it a German and Nigerian. They will refer to your country of origin before the adopted country. So thank you so much, everyone. And lastly, I know a lot of deaths has been thrown around by the Agbado people trying to pitch the Igbo against the Yorubas. For our Yoruba brothers and sisters who are on this call, who have stayed through, who have refused to allow themselves to be dragged into the emotional blackmail, you guys are the real MVPs. Thank you. Thank you for not allowing yourself to be blackmailed into the ethnic rubbish that they have been trying to throw around. For the Igbos too, their brothers who have kept calm. They thought we will go to fight in Lagos and give them the chance to burn down the place and blame it on us, and we failed them. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. This is where I yield.
Thank you, Outlier. That was lovely. Thank you so, so, so much. Yes, let me go to another speaker. Ife Salako, good evening. Ife Salako, good evening. Are you
Hi,
there?
good evening.
You have the floor. Go ahead, please.
Um, Thank you very much. So it's a great thing that we're here and we're talking about Peter Obi. Um, I I contested in the last election for Federal House of Rep, and uh, at the time there was a lot that was happening, but until Peter Obi got into the scene, I thought that I thought I was the only saint that was going into politics. You know, Um, and so we got to know Peter Obi, and I realized that amongst his peers, Peter Obi happens to be the only person who was part of the early politicians that took over the mantle of democracy at the beginning of the Fourth Republic, and happens to be the only governor um, that we can say that he did not steal the state's money. And it's been proven over time where it is obvious that this man did not steal from the Anambra government, even um, after being the governor for 8 years. And this alone is the reason why he got over 6 million votes, even if that 6 million is way lower than what he got at that election. But I mean, they couldn't even cut it less than that. For a one man to run a party, to run under a platform of a party in 8 months and be able to get 6 million votes. I mean, I was telling someone recently that in Nigeria elections, as I've known it all my life, it would be the ruling party and the closest next party. And after that, the next figures you're seeing is maybe a few thousands. I mean, so if the ruling party is winning is like maybe 12 million, and maybe the next party is winning is like maybe 8 or 10 million, and the next thing you will see is 56,000, 30,000, 12,000, and then all that way. Is this the first time in Nigeria election where a one man who ran under a relatively known party would come up with a distinct um, um, figure in the presidential election? It says a lot, and it talks a lot about his integrity and his credibility, the kind of person he is, and I'm sure that's why we're all here today. That's why he is the he is the political figure that a whole lot of people in Nigeria today want to identify with. I keep saying that the the good people in anywhere in all over the world, they are far more than the bad people. But the problem has always been that the good people do not find a good person to follow politically. For the first time in Nigeria, we're able to find a good man with a good conscience, even being in the political space that everybody believes that we can follow. And that is why we are all behind Peter Obi today, and we're all doing everything we can to support him. So you see, the influence of Peter Obi on me as an individual is beyond me. It is that Peter Obi is Nigeria's hope. Peter Obi is Nigeria's future. Peter Obi is the ideal identity of what Nigerians and the good Nigerians want, in our political space. And so the influence is so much. I read about a man, I don't know if somebody had talked about it earlier on, but I read about a young man who was going to the embassy in the UK, I suppose. And, he had a friend inside the embassy who he could call and then allow him to skip the line. But he said he remembered Peter Obi, and then he asked himself that what would Peter Obi do in this same situation? And instead of calling the person inside to help him jump the queue, he decided to stay on the queue and wait for his turn. This is how leadership, this is how credibility, a credible leader, influence the followership. This is how we can change the Nigerian narrative, not by having a drug lord lead us in a whole nation, not by having a, 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 a thug-oriented party, not by having a bloodthirsty kind of party and people leading us in Nigeria. I mean, we cannot talk about this and then just um, shy away from the fact that APC, APC as a party is a disgrace to this country. My name is Ifeoluwadi Salakon. I'm saying it on this space. If they are here, they should hear me. APC is a disgrace to Nigeria because I don't understand why a party would openly unleash men, unleash, unleash terror on people in broad daylight, all because they want to retain power and and their followers are happy. I mean, people have lost their children today because APC wants to retain power. People have lost, their health status. People have lost legs. I mean, different parts of their bodies. Some people are still in the hospital today. From my a Peter Obi stand openly against. When I woke up this morning and I heard the audio recording, and I was just devastated. The first thing that got me really worried was Kenneth Okonkwo's response to it. But I know that we are beyond that right now. And of course, I also want to appreciate everybody who's been part of, getting us on the right path and then retaining the right narrative of what the Labour Party and most importantly, what Peter Obi stands for. Nigeria needs honest, honest leaders. I can it
Sorry to
cannot be
interrupt you, Mr.
overemphasized.
Salako, but please round up in 30 seconds, please, so others can also speak. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So of course, I can go on and on about Peter Obi, but I was just saying that Nigeria needs honest leaders and leaders without corrupt and backgrounds. So please and please and please, we cannot stop promoting and telling everybody how much we need Peter Obi at the ends of the affairs of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much for the time. God bless you. I yield the mic.
Thank you so, thank you so much. Wow. Okay, let's just go straight to the next speaker. Night Agent, good evening. Hold on, Night Agent, before you go. Ma 63, let me try you again. I know you've been here for a while. Let's see if your audio is better. Can you hear me, Ma 63?
Yes, I can hear you
Okay,
now.
better. I can hear you now. Go ahead, please. You have the floor.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to you, Kibati. Thank you for the space. Honestly, I've been waiting. Like, I've been waiting so much for this kind of topic to be shared. Like, personally, I won't call it as in, I won't just say that is a way Peter Obi influenced my life. Personally, I will call it a testimony. But before then, I want to remind us what Peter Obi said. He said that the structure we are trying to dismantle is a structure of criminality that has existed for years. So it's not going to be an easy stuff. It's not going to be something you would do overnight. So a lot of work has to be done. And all these, their tantrums, they are throwing, all these propagandas they are bringing up, they are all expected. We are not surprised. We are not in shock, But then, straight to my testimony, a lot has been said. I've been on this space for a long time. I've heard a lot of people say a lot of things. But right now, I just want to submit my own testimony. I have worked with so many religious leaders, so many. But the fact is that I have never worked with any of the religious leaders that taught me directly what P2B has taught me indirectly. What am I trying to say? I think it was first to jump the queue. I'll tell myself, no, you must do the right thing. So what am I trying to say? P2B has taught me that above every other thing, doing the right thing should be the priority in our lives. Doing the right thing should be the first thing we'll think about before any other thing. That's just what I want to say. Thank you very much. I submit my mic.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, the night agents, over to you now.
Thank you, Kilobat. Thanks to everyone. Let me just give an appreciation, overall appreciation to all obedience. For me personally, I've been a sleeper in politics. I've just been waiting for the right person to stir up my emotions and stir up my zeal and love for my country to support the right person. And then Peter Obi came about, and yeah, it has been nonstop for me. I started following politics back to back and trying to do the best I can do. Put any support I can for Peter Obi. I see my father, my biological father, in him. So many things happened to my father that just made him that just showed me that being steadfast is the right thing to do, and being diligent is the right thing to do. And then once Peter Obi came up and had those same characters, I was like, yeah, this is the man. And then just having a conversation with my father as well, he said that is the man as well. That is the person that we need in Nigeria. So yeah, I've been supporting Obi back to back, and I've been supporting Labour Party because I believe everyone in the Labour Party would be influenced directly or indirectly by Peter Obi. Now, the main thing I really wanted to talk about was that we all know we have a big and massive support for Peter Obi, but we equally have a bigger support, a bigger demographic out there that is still or was that is still a sleeper like I was previously. And those that demographic, they come once or twice to approach obedience, to talk to them, but obedience are very emotional. We do not settle down to actually accept them and then pull them into our organization or our movement. So I just wanted, this is one thing I've learned from Peter Obi. He's very compassionate, he's very accepting of anyone, and he's always willing to tell you or advise you or point out the reason why you should support him and why you should stand for good and why you should stand for competency. So I believe one strategy we should have going forward is to ensure that we are accepting and compassionate about these sleepers, this sleeper demographic, because I believe if we get that demographic on our side, we can do even more than we have done so far. I'll use my mic from here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Interesting. Yes, that's a very interesting insight. Thank you. All right, let me go to Nneka. Let me go to the I think you're a lady. Well, of course, Nneka is a lady's name. I hope you're a lady. Good evening.
I am.
Hi,
Good
welcome.
evening,
You have
guys.
the floor. Good evening.
Good evening, guys. Thanks for hosting this space, and good evening to everyone here. So, how has this man influenced me? Before now, I used to be that person that complained about how the political scene in Nigeria was. I had an opinion on things, but I never really joined politics because I could see how dirty it was, how people call white black. But Peter Obi came in here, and he's what when I did my MBA, they call someone like him a transformative leader. He's a man that is empathetic. He motivates. He influences. He has integrity. And if you work with somebody like this, he just coaches you to reach your potential. This man ignited action in my activism. I used to just be a talker, but he made me see that one person can actually spark change. And it has just made me focus my attention on doing things to actually see change in the kind of leadership that I want. Another thing that he influenced me with is his strategic mind. Peter Obi is not somebody that just does things. I think we've come to see how everything that's played out over time has had some strategy behind it. When people expect him to zig, he just zags. I mean, look at the petition he submitted and put together, right? So finally, another thing that really impressed me is outspoken he has been about his uprightness. And I think I don't know if you guys saw his old accounts that somebody posted. The consistency, somebody that had just been true, his track record, no change. Like he was never political from day one. He's just that kind of person. So it really motivated me to start now. I'm from Imo State, and I'm sure every other obedient knows the kind of problem that we Imo people are facing, the problem that is ahead of us in November. So that man motivated me to actually start doing something about it. And I don't know, I can't even start speaking about all the ways this man motivated me. When Peter Obi tweets, when I see a signed tweet by this guy, if I'm feeling down, the way my spirit just gets up, he spurs me to action. So I can only just pray that we can get this leader. And I know we will get this man to be our president, somebody we can be proud of. I left Nigeria not because I wanted to, but because I wanted opportunities for my unborn children. And I have left, but I still love Nigeria. And it's like I'm in an abusive relationship where you hate everything about this country, but you don't have a choice. You still love the country. People tell me, I've met some Nigerians that just say, why won't you just remove your mind? Forget it and just move on. How do you forget where you're from and just move on? Like where you spent your formative years. I want my son to be able to say he's Nigerian with pride. I want him to be able to come home to Nigeria if he wants to. Let him have that option. Let Nigeria not be a place we run from. Let us be like all these places we go to that they just go on trips or decide to move somewhere and work. Let Nigeria be a destination where people move to seek greener pastures as well. Let's just have pride. You don't know how painful, I'm sure people here know how painful it is when you read certain things about Nigeria. It just hurts. I get so emotional when I speak about these things. So I'm going to just end my submission here. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Neka. Yes, we can relate. We know how it feels. Thank you so much. Let's go to Gabriel now. Gabriel, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here once again. Um, I want to make a few points, a few remarks. All my life, I've been this kind of person in my family. They consider me, a very kind of tough child. But for the first time in my life, I actually cried. Cried like I hardly cry. So I was driving from work. I was at 285 highway the day Peter was talking about the lady that needed money to buy something for bakery, and he cried. I started weeping in my car. I started weeping, and you know I I mean that's to tell you how much this guy has actually touched the life of Nigerians, both home and abroad. Right here, where I work in a research institute here in Atlanta, and a lot of people, even the white people, they talk about Nigeria, they talk about Peter Obi because everybody's watching. They've seen everything. They've seen the influence that this man has really put on Nigerians. And I want to talk about something as regards to what somebody said before. He said there are so many people in the other camp that we need to be compassionate. We need to be able to give them some ears and talk to them. And I think obedient families need to have this thing called voter wing, where we have to, devote our times. I'm working on that seriously, to be able to, give people an opportunity to be able to, uh, you know, listen and then listen to them and then let them talk. Because leadership is all about, empathy, compassion, love, and, being, forthright with whatever you're doing. So we need a lot of people to realize that look, we are all abused. Nigeria has abused every one of us. Nigeria has happened to every one of us, even those of us here, both home and abroad. So we need to be able to, put our energy together. And I'm glad that we've come to that point where Nigerians are speaking for the first time with one voice. We are rejecting, policies of sinisters. We are rejecting things that didn't, that doesn't conform to the image of what Nigeria should look like. Nigeria is a giant of Africa. We don't even know who we are. In the international community, in the international politics, Nigeria is a beacon of Africa. And, I normally say Nigeria, I normally tell my friends that Nigeria is like a map. It's like a gun. Africa is like a gun, and Nigeria is the trigger. Nigeria is the trigger. When you pull Nigeria, you pull Africa. So we need to start living up to our expectations. We need to start living up to, the standard of how the world sees us. Okay, and the only way to do that is to come together as a people. I was listening to the other lady that was speaking from the northern part of Nigeria. She said something that really touched me. Irrespective of where we come from in Nigeria, we should be able to our watchword, our goal should be to elevate Nigeria to that standard where we'll be proud and say, oh well, our children, this is the country that we're leaving behind for you guys. All of us were abused. Nigeria has abused all of us. So most nook and cranny of every part of Nigeria, even the ones that are campaigning on the other camp, they know the truth. But just that it's hard for people, to return to where they've never left. So these guys have never returned. They can't return to where they've never left. So they are gasping for their breath. They are trying to do everything possible, to see if they can keep what they have stolen and to continue to peddle their lies and all that. But we know all that. Even they know the truth. So let us continue in the same synergy as a people, as a family. I believe and I trust that with time, everything is going to be okay. And we will get the Nigeria of our dreams. I yield my mic. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Gabriel. Thank you so much. Okay, it's about 1 o'clock now. So what I will do is I'll just take on the two speakers on stage that have not spoken, and that will be that. If my co-hosts don't mind. Dr. Godwin, are you there? Good evening. Dr. Godwin, are you there?
Yeah, good evening. Yes, I'm there. Good evening. Thank you very much for calling
Hello,
me.
Dr. Godwin. Good evening. Can
Yeah,
you hear me?
yes. Can you hear me? I'm
Oh,
speaking. Can
it
you hear
seems
me?
there's a problem. There's an issue with your network, Dr. Godwin. Okay, let me go to Olawale. Good evening, Olawale Babs. Good evening. Good evening, Olawale Babs. Are you there? Okay, it seems my speakers want to go sleep. Okay,
Hello,
can
can you hear
others
me?
hear me? Can others on the space hear me? Let me be sure you guys can actually hear me. Chuka, good evening. Are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
I think
so
Chuka
okay,
is
so I'm
trying to speak.
audible. All right, Chuka.
I
Oh,
think Chuka is
Olawale is speaking. All right, Chuka, hold on. Olawale, good evening.
I think I mute myself, so I'm so
Okay, you
sorry
know what?
about that.
Just make your submission in 1 minute, 30 seconds, because we need to wrap up the space. Good evening. You have the floor.
Okay,
Yeah, go ahead. Good
okay.
morning. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you, thank you everyone for joining the space. It's been a battle well fought. I just want to thank everyone for what we have done so far. We started as four people treating in a room. And at the end of the day, we were able to, gather up to 6 million votes. That is incredible. What we have achieved in that, that duration of time is incredible. So I just want to, praise everyone, your effort, everything everyone has put into this movement. So we can't just, back down right now. There's going to be a lot of propaganda coming in. In fact, between this within the last 2 days, it's been hell for me also, but we're gonna keep hold ourselves to to them. We're not gonna give up. So I just want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you, all obedience. Thank you so much. Heed the mic now.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Olawale. Thank you. Wow.
Hello, can you hear me?
Wow. What a space. This space had me so emotional. I think we started at 7 p.m. and it's 1 a.m. now,
Can you
Nigerian
hear me
time.
now?
And boy, oh boy, I've learned so much, man. It's been very interesting to hear directly from the
Am I
horse's
not
mouth.
audible
I mean, from the
now?
mouth of obedience, on the lips of obedience, and how this entire movement, this man, Peter Obi, has. Well, I don't know about others, but for me, he has changed my life. I have never been this interested in politics. I mean, anyone that knows me knows that I love to.
Please look over me, please.
Uh, oh, sorry. Okay. Please mute your
Can you
mic.
hear me now?
Everyone
Am
that
I
knows me knows
audible?
that I like. I mean, you know my interests. Before the season, my interests have been sports. I'm always talking about football, Formula One. I love to travel. I like to enjoy life. That's what I like to do. I don't like stress. In fact, I'm known to be chronically allergic to stress. But and I have all my life deliberately. Well, occasionally, I get interested in politics. In fact, I have a lot of friends in the APC, and well, because of the rots in the Nigerian system, I deliberately tune off politics. I've done that for years. But the person that's got me interested, I mean disinterested in politics, is this man, Peter Obi. And you see his influence on my life will forever remain. I mean, will be there forever. And interestingly, you guys are not going to believe this, but let me just make a confession. The person that told me about Peter Obi, that actually alerted me to Peter Obi, is an Agbado person. Not only an APC person, this person is one of the most, in fact, one of the most, I mean, the foremost APC people, one of the most chronic. Someone I know for years. How did I find out about Peter Obi? I think it was early 20. No, I don't know about the man Peter Obi, but I'm talking of, alerting me to him and making me passionate about him. I think it was early 20, sometime in 2021. I was invited by. I have a lot of friends, APC, PDP, many young people, in different fairs in those parties, and they were holding a retreat one day. So my APC friend, this guy, and his friends, were holding a retreat with some people. They called it I forgot I still have the flyer. I'll find the flyer of that retreat somewhere. It was a barbecue, mix and chill with young Nigerians, to discuss politics. APC guys were there, PDP guys were there, and well, I can't remember if there were any neutrals, So out of curiosity, I went for this outing, and over barbecue and everything. I mean, I'm extremely vocal. I'm very blunt, very passionate. We had this debate, this political debate, and it was very interesting. This is APC. So we're not talking about personalities. We're talking about the 2023 election and potential candidates. And guess what, guys? It was this APC guy that started talking about Peter Obi. He brought up Peter Obi and mentioned how he met him one day on a flight, and talked about the man's humility and how he engaged him in conversation, and how the man brought some of his plans in his manifesto when he ran with Atiku in 2019, and how the man floored him and thoroughly impressed him. And in the same breath, the same guy said, well, however, in 2023, his candidate is Tinubu. He's going to be back in Tinubu. And, a debate broke out and, back and forth. But he had nothing but great things to say about Peter Obi. And I was stunned. I was amazed. Peter Obi at that point was in the PDP. I was amazed. Of course, at that point, I didn't even know that the Labour Party, everything that's happened now will happen. Well, that should tell you something. That should tell you something. Even the guys in the APC know about the man. Forget about the propaganda you see on the TL today. This man has had an impact on everyone's life, including these guys. They know the truth. They discuss it in their private conversations. When they meet you personally, they will tell you. They know this man. They know the truth. They know. They know that this man's. They know about the man's decency. They all say the same thing, unequivocally, that this man is humble. Many of them have had interactions with him. They've met with him. They say it in their private WhatsApp groups that this man cannot is incomparable to any politician in Nigeria. They know this. They know the man's story. They know about his integrity. They know about his character. So it's very sad, I mean, and that's what enrages me, when I see the propaganda, I see the zeal with which they try to tarnish his image. I mean, it's actually enraging. But of course, it has failed. This propaganda has failed, and that's why I'm so proud of this movement. I am so proud of this movement. I mean, this man has so inspired me that I literally put my life, so many aspects of my life on hold for months on end. I have never done that before. Man, God bless this man so much. Let me go to my co-host Pels. Before I come to Pels, Chuka, do you want to say something real quickly, really briefly? Because I really want to go sleep. Chuka, are you here?
Can you hear me? Can
Do
you
you want
hear
to say
me?
something really briefly?
I think there's someone here who hasn't spoken, who has been speaking, but it seems you can't hear him. But
Who
I
is the
can hear him.
person?
Maybe others can hear him. Dr. Godwin.
Oh, I don't think he's audible. I cannot hear him. Hello, Dr. Godwin, are you there?
Can you hear me now?
I noticed that he switched off
Yes,
his
I'm here.
mic.
I'm
I think
here.
there's
Can
a
you hear me?
problem. Can others hear him? Pels, are you there? Let me just confirm that the listeners can hear him. If you can hear Godwin, please, can you just signify? Can you just raise your hand or something, or just wave or something, or just click on the love emoji or something? Let me see reactions from others. Dr. Godwin. Okay, in that case, let's hear him then. There must be something wrong with the network.
Okay.
Dr.
Okay.
Godwin, I can't hear you at
Okay.
all,
Thank.
but go ahead.
It's all right. It's all right. Thank you very much. I just want to share my own experience on how P2B has actually influenced me. I am. I know then when he was governor of Anambra, his own personality and everything about him. And it got me thinking, and I went to a moment of a deep sober reflection. Most times when you go and reflect about your own life, it's can yield some positive fruits, So I also monitored him, and I saw the way I met him on a couple of occasions. And I saw how, despite all he has and despite all he does, he doesn't fail to go to church every morning. He doesn't fail to go to church every morning. And that's one thing. I was looking at this man. Even myself, who is still struggling and trying to meet up my own, I'm not so keen about my own, that aspect of me, but he's taking it very serious, and he doesn't blow his own trumpet. You see, I learned patience and tolerance from him. I learned prudence from him, and above all, like I said, how to put God first in anything you are doing. You see, when you put God first in anything you are doing, even if they come and raise propaganda, people are fighting you, they will fight, fight, fight. And at the end, they will be fighting themselves. That's why when this obedient movement, when this whole thing started, I know that they will fight him, but I know that definitely things will work for his own good. And that is how everything has been happening since then. You see? So I want to encourage us, and I want to, for those whose minds are shaking, somebody like me who have followed Peter Obi from when he was governor, I have a strong belief that this movement is going to be different. And even if the judicial system have been bribed in the past, you see, in this case, it will not be the same, because something different, a different force, a light will overcome darkness, and there will be light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you very much.
He's done. He's done speaking. Dr. Godwin
Okay,
is done.
I literally didn't hear what he said, but thank you. It's fine. It's fine. All right. Thank you so much. Chuka, do you want to say something really briefly?
Okay. Once again, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. I'll just list the values and virtues that we've been talking about: compassion, courage, competence, capacity, integrity, intelligence, humility, kindness, apathy, and many more. But the most important is love. These virtues and values are embodied by Peter Obi himself. This is exactly who he is, and I believe strongly that he has awakened the same values in us. But beyond that, there are a lot of smaller Peter B's around us in Nigeria. Some are not even in Nigeria, but there are a lot of Nigerians who are also just like Peter B in their own way. They may not be exactly like him, but they carry the same virtues and values. Totally. They may not have as much wealth or fame or popularity or achievements as he has. So this is just the beginning. We need a system that is led by the Peter B's on every level, at every level, in every sphere, even in the private sector, but most importantly in the public sector, where we get to determine who gets where, from the local government level to the state level, even state house of assembly, to the Senate, House of Rep, and the presidency. But beyond that, everywhere, every small thing, even in the party, everything that has to do with voting, it will help us to imbibe these values and virtues and always remember them anytime we're choosing a leader at any level in Nigeria. Because that's the only way we will be able to entrench this Peter Obi-ness, this Peter Obiism into our lives, everyday lives. Reflect it in everything we do. Because we talk about corruption all the time, but corruption is not the only thing that is our problem. This country has a problem we call corruption as a face, but it's standing on two legs. Those two legs are impunity and mediocrity. Now, the reason why we have a fight today is because those two legs are the legs that a lot of people have risen on. A lot of people are standing on that. Generations are standing on that. Like people have sustained their lives and their success and their achievements on those two legs. And you want to remove those two legs. What do you expect? Because these two legs will resist you if you're not like them. They will fight you if you're not like them. In fact, they will eat you. Like they will kill you and eat you. Those two legs. Those two legs are the reasons why people died at Lucky Tollgate. Those two legs are the reasons why people die every day on the roads out of negligence. Those two legs are the reasons why people die in the hospitals. Those two legs are the reasons why people don't have education in Nigeria. Most Nigerians are not well educated. Forget about we have schools, but we don't really go to school because we want to get trained. Sorry, to get enlightened. We go to school because we want to be able to get a job. So we haven't even started. But this is going to take us there. So we are trying to remove those two legs. And the only way we can successfully remove it and make sure it doesn't come back again is that we uphold these values and virtues that we admire in Mr. Peter Obi. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chuka. Thank you. And thanks to everyone who's spoken tonight. Wow, we really needed this. I personally really needed this because, to be honest, today started off like many of the speakers had said. I mean, it got to a point where I was exhausted. I was like, "What is all this rubbish?" I mean, these guys have got an arsenal of artillery that we cannot. I mean, we can't match. Let's be honest. I mean, these guys have got the funds, the illicit funds, and all that, and they are constantly night and day. They're like leeches and witches and wizards who do not sleep, concocting all sorts of things to tarnish the image of our principal and this movement. But I love the spirit of obedience. I love how dogged and determined we are, and I can promise you guys that. The I would like to, from what I've heard tonight, I believe that we're ready for the fight, for the battle ahead. We're ready for whatever these guys have planned and whatever their plots and shenanigans. And I strongly believe, I mean, no matter how long it takes, no matter how steep the climb, no matter how tough the battle, I strongly believe that at the end of the day, we will have the last laugh and we'll definitely reclaim this mandate. Miss Pels, it looks like, are you still with us? It looks like you've gone to get your beauty sleep. I've lost, okay, I already lost Saddam. Miss Pels, I cannot, well, it seems she's either asleep or busy. But I think at this point, we can end the space. Thank you so, so much to everyone who's spoken. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for your submissions. Thanks to all the speakers. Thanks for inspiring me. Thanks for sharing your stories. Thanks for speaking from your hearts. And hopefully, we'll do this again very, very soon. All right. If you're not following me, please follow my handle and follow my co hosts. And let's keep the conversation going. All right. Good night, everyone. Good night.